Hello guys, it's Tisa and welcome back for Mixed Media Wednesdays. And as always, I've got some ladies joining me and their links will be below. But what I'm going to be playing with today, and this is going to be the first time that I'm playing with this, is the Distress Resist Spray by Tim Holtz. And I used a cut file, which was that wave that you saw, and that is from the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop on Etsy. And I put some repositionable adhesive on there, stuck it down, and sprayed. Now, unfortunately, you can't see what I'm spraying with, but it is the Distress Resist spray. And I did that twice. I did it once and then I lifted it up after it had dried and did it again right above the first wave. And I really love how it turns out. Now, it did take a little bit of time to dry, and once it was dry, I got out my Distress Oxide inks, and I used several inks. I used Evergreen Bough, Cracked Pistachio, Broken China, Salty Ocean, Stormy Day. And I am using these silicone makeup brushes that I got on Amazon. I saw someone talk about them on their channel, and I decided to look them up, and they were only $9 for a set of maybe 6 of them. So I thought, well, for $10 free shipping, get them in a couple days, I'm going to give them a try because they simply wipe off and they're super easy to use. Now, I don't have an opinion on these quite yet. I will play with them some more, and then I will maybe do like give you guys my true opinion of how these work. I don't want to do that with only using them one time because I'm not sure. I want to see how these makeup brushes, how they compare to using the little foam, the little foam things from Ranger. So I'm just kind of mixing these colors up, and I was using the blue colors in the Summer Lights collection as my inspiration for colors, and mixing all of these up really seemed to do the job, and I really like how it turned out. Now you'll notice where the inks hit was the white parts of the wave, like the actual wave cut file, and the rest will be just lighter, and the more prominent colors are that cut file. There were some areas that didn't show up as well, but that didn't bother me too bad. I liked the distressed look. I will definitely try this spray again. I think it's one of those things that it may take a little practice as well. So I'm going to add this pattern paper from the, Summer Lights collection to the top. And I actually got this paper off of a give and take table at a crop that I was at in the spring. And there was a few sheets of the paper, and then a friend of mine, Amanda, had given me a pack of embellishments because she had 2 of them. So I'm doing another scuba diving picture. This one is of my husband, and this is going to go in our honeymoon album. And I have a whole folder of basically summer water papers and stuff like that are super old. Don't know where most of them came from, and that wave one is one that I've used quite a bit in my honeymoon album, so I wanted to go ahead and use that one, and it really ties in the blues, I think. And then I'm going to back it with this, which is from Oh, it's a crepe paper collect. No, it's a Simple Stories collection, an old one, summer collection. I can't remember which one. And I want to bring out a little bit of the oranges. I do back it with one more paper from the Summer Lights collection, but you'll see in the end that I end up taking that off. I felt like it was just too heavy looking. I really didn't, I don't know why. I could have left it on there, I suppose, but in the end, I just really didn't care for it, so I ended up taking it off. So you'll see I used a ribbon there to kind of go over the seam between the pattern paper and the background. That is from the Target Dollar Spot. I believe that was out around Valentine's Day, and I had picked that up. And I really like it. Really, I think it worked out really perfect for this layout because I knew I was going to use some holographic items, and I was going to use some of these mirrored words, which I believe were from, I think they might have been from Pink Paisley. Don't have them in front of me. Yes, they're from the Pink Paisley collection. One of the Paige Evans collections where I'm going to use some of those like glass reflective titles. So I just pulled out a bunch of shells. I fussy cut some out of a paper and pulled out some from the die cuts, and I kind of just threw them around and was playing with them. And I'll be honest, this layout did not come along as easy as I had expected it to. And sometimes that happens when you don't have a lot of embellishments. And I didn't want to cover up a lot of that mixed media I did, so I did do some limited embellishing here. So I didn't know what I was going to do with the shells, so I decided I might as well start working on my title. And that's kind of what I do. When I get in a stump, if I know there's one thing I do know I'm going to do on the layout, I'll move on to that. So I knew what my title was going to be, and so I thought I knew where it was going to go on the layout, so I left everything else alone and went and worked on my title. The title is going to stay Sweet Ocean Life. And ocean is, it's kind of a puffy, almost like a rubbery feeling thicker. I store my thickers in like a clear 6x12 Ziploc bag, so I unfortunately do not know where this one came from, and I apologize. But it turned out to be the perfect color for this layout, so I love how that worked out. Now, once I get the title done, I realize, okay, I want to do an embellishment right next to the title, and then I want to do one below the photo. And that's where you're going to see where things start to come together a little bit easier than previously. So here I am fixing up the title, laying down that life there. And I love how those look along with the holographic items and along with that silver trim. So I hope you'll stop by and check out the links below and see how the other ladies played with mixed media on their layouts this week. As you know, if you've watched these before, we do a mixed media layout every first Wednesday of the month, and it's Let's Get Messy Wednesdays. And I'm really loving it because what I'm doing is picking an item that I want to play with and just having fun. And it really makes me, think outside of the box, number one, and use my stuff. I can't handle this just having stuff sitting around, looking at it, buying it because it's beautiful and it looks like fun, and then not using it. So this really gives us the opportunity to do that. And if you want to keep up with watching my videos, make sure you subscribe and tap that bell button so you'll get notifications as well. So here's where I started laying down the embellishments up at the top right. I've got a couple holographic shells that I fussy cut from some paper, and a little seahorse that I put up on dimensionals and that is from the ephemera pack. And then I have a little wave, and you might not be able to see it till the close-ups, but there's a little wave that kind of goes in between ocean and life, and I really like how that worked out as well. Now I'm gonna struggle, and I cut out so much of this video because I tried so many things, and you're gonna see everything I try, but in between trying those, I was just kind of just rummaging through my stash. So I thought about using this frame and kind of layering up some shells inside of the frame. And then looking at it, I'm like, no, this pink is too bright, and if I have that bright pink, I'm going to have to bring more pink up into the other embellishment cluster, and I'm kind of fine with the way that looks right now. So I end up getting rid of that, and I go through my stash some more. I try some more chipboard frames from my stash, and then I find in an old Amy Tan thicker, it's a thicker sheet, this or chipboard, not thicker, chipboard. It says love this, and it's kind of got a sunset. It brings in the orange, which is in the a seahorse up in the other cluster, and this, when I saw that, I was like, yep, that's gonna work. That is gonna make everything tie together. And then I'm just gonna layer up some more of the shells. I've got a sand dollar. No, not a sand dollar, starfish. I do not know my sea animals, obviously. Yeah, my starfish, and just kind of make a little cluster. I'm going to pop some of them up on dimensionals and leave some of them flat, and just add a little layering and interest with that. And that's what I would suggest. If all you have is stickers and flat ephemera, dimensional adhesive is your friend. That can add so much dimensions and interest to your page just by popping up a couple of your items in each of your clusters. So I'm going to get everything glued down here, and then I'm just going to be adding the finishing touches. I also had in my stash, it was from Hobby Lobby, and it was a sheet of mirrored stars and, oh my goodness, hearts. I'm doing this late in the evening, so I apologize. My brain is just not working today. And I end up using those in the cluster as well. So I didn't like how the top was just kind of blah. I don't really want to add embellishments up there because I honestly, I don't have anything that would work. But I did add a little bit more of that blue wave type paper and a little bit of the orange from another paper up at the top, where I just kind of cut a chunk out of the paper and layered that behind. And I do feel that at least moves your eye, stops your eye there, and then moves it to, kind of helps draw your eye around. So I added those stars to each cluster and a few enamel dots, and that's going to finish up my layout. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave comments below, and I hope you all have a great, great night. Thanks, guys.